Bandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yatha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savajutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Scha Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gorva Bhistam Supurakam Guruganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindamidam Ujvalam Varatanam Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Premno Ebija Pradam Devam Divyatanam Sutrandavananam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekabaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Mandetam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Yashishwara Shridaram Mansha Kaupatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavinabhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Goratavishe Nama. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll begin with verse number 1. Yasha prashadad agyopi sadya sarva gyatam vrajet sa Sri Chaitanya devo me bhagavan samprasidatu. Even a person with no knowledge can immediately acquire all knowledge simply by the benediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore I am praying to the Lord for his causeless mercy upon me. Bande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Godadaye Pushpavanto Chitro Shando Tamonudo. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Goda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. And on the horizon of Goda refers to Bengal. Jayatam surato pangor mama manda matergati matsarvasva parambojo raramarana mohano. Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prashtalibi Sevyamano Smarami. So Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvasva Parambojo Radhamadana Mohano. Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. Divya Vrindananya Kalpa Drumad Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prashtalibi Sevyamano Smarami. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavan underneath a desire tree, Sri Sri Radha Govinda, served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my humble obeisances unto them. Shriman Rasa Rasaharambi Vamshivata Tatastita Karshan Venus Manar Gopir Gopinata Shriyestunaha. May Gopinachi, who attracts all the gopis with the song of his flute and who has begun the most melodious rasa dance on the bank of the Jamuna in Vamshivat, be merciful upon us. Jaya Jaya Gaurachandra Jaya Kripa Sindhu Jaya Jaya Sachi Sutta Jaya Dina Bandhu. All glories unto Sri Gaurahari, who is an ocean of mercy. All glories unto you, the son of Sachi Devi, for you are the only friend of all fallen souls. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Srivasadi Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories unto Lord Nityananda and Advaita Prabhu, and all glories unto all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas Thakur. Purve Kohilun Adi Leela Sutragan Jaham Vistari Achan Dasha Vrindavan. I have previously described in synopsis the Adi Leela, initial pastimes, which have already been fully described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Ateva Tarami Sutra Matra Koilun Jai Kichu Vishesha Sutra Madhye Kohilun. I have therefore given only a synopsis of those incidents, and whatever specifics were to be related have already been given in that synopsis. Ebiko he Sesha Lila Mukhya Sutragan Prabhura Sesha Lila Najai Varnan. To describe the unlimited pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not possible, but I now wish to relate the chief incidents and give a synopsis of those pastimes occurring at the end. Taramadyeje Bhaga Dasha Vrindavan Chaitanya Mangale Vishtari Korila Varnan Se Bhagara Iha Sutra Matra Likiba Tahan Jai Vishesha Kichu Ihan Vistariba. I shall describe only in synopsis that portion which Vrindavan Das Thakur has described very elaborately in his book Chaitanya Mangal or Chaitanya Bhagavad. Whatever incidents are outstanding, however, I shall later elaborate. Chaitanya Lila Ravyasa Dasha Vrindavan Tara Gyaya Karon Tara Uchishta Charan. Actually, the authorized compiler of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Srila Vrindavan Das, the incarnation of Vyasadeva. Only upon his orders am I trying to chew the remnants of food that he has left. Bhakti Kori Shiri Dori Tahara Charan Seish Lilara Sutragan Koriye Varnan. Placing his lotus feet upon my head in great devotion, I shall now describe in summary the Lord's final pastimes. Chabish Vatsara Prabhu Grihe Avastan Tahanje Korila Lila Adi Lila Nam. For 24 years, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at home, and whatever pastimes he performed during that time are called the Adi Lila. Chabish Vatsara Se Se Magamas Tara Sukha Pake Prabhu Korila Sanyas. At the end of his 24th year, in the month of Magh, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, the Lord accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas. At the end of his 24th year, in the month of Magh, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, the Lord accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas. Sannyas Koriya Chabish Vatsaravastan Tahanje Lila Tara Sesha Lila Nam. After accepting sannyas, Lord Chaitanya remained within the material world for another 24 years. Within this period, whatever pastimes he enacted are called the Sesha Lila, or pastimes occurring at the end. So 24 years as grihasta, then took sannyas, and then during this, Lord Chaitanya then passed another 24 years engaging in pastimes after taking sannyas. Sesha Lila Ramadya Antya Dui Namahoy Lila Bede Vaishnava Sab Nama Beda Koi. The final pastimes of the Lord occurring in his last 24 years are called Madhya, middle, and Antya, final. All the devotees of the Lord refer to his pastimes according to these divisions. Taramadya Chai Vatsara Gamana Gaman Nilachala Goda Setubanda Vrindavan. For 6 years of the last 24 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled all over India, from Jagannath Puri to Bengal, and from Cape Comorin to Vrindavan. So, for 6 years of the last 24 years, Mahaprabhu traveled all over India, from Jagannath Puri to Bengal, and from Cape Comorin to Vrindavan. From South India to Vrindavan. Tahan Jay Lila Tara Madhya Lila Nam Tara Pache Lila Anja Lila Abidan. All the pastimes performed by the Lord in those places are known as the Madhya-lila, and whatever pastimes were performed after that are called the Anja-lila. Adi-lila, Madhya-lila, Anja-lila are Ebe Madhya-lila Kichu Koraye Bistar. The pastimes of the Lord are therefore divided into 3 periods: the Adi-lila, Madhya-lila, and Anja-lila. Now I shall very elaborately describe the Madhya-lila. Ashtadasha Varsha Kevala Nila Chale Stiti Apaniya Chare Jive Shikaila Bhakti. For 18 continuous years, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at Jagannath Puri, and through his personal behavior instructed all living entities in the mode of devotional service. Taramadye Chai Vatsara Bhakta Gana Sange Prema Bhakti Pravartaila Nritya Gita Range. Of these 18 years at Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent 6 years with his many devotees by chanting and dancing, and introduced the loving service of the Lord. So 6 years after Mahaprabhu left Navadvip, he was traveling throughout India, sometimes to South India, sometimes to Vrindavan, sometimes to and from Jagannath Puri. And those years are called the Madhya-lila. And then the final years are the Antya-lila, 18 years. And it mentions here that of those 18 years, and 6 years in particular of those remaining 18 years, he spent 6 years of those 6 years chanting and dancing with the devotees. He introduced the loving service of the Lord. Nityananda Gosaire Pataila Goda Deshe Teho Goda Desha Basaila Prima Rase. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu from Jagannath Puri to Bengal, which is known as Godadesh, and Lord Nityananda Prabhu overflooded that country with the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So Mahaprabhu was very concerned about Bengal, and he sent Nityananda there to take care of everyone and give them Krishna consciousness. Sahaje Nityananda Krishna Premodam Prabhu Agyaya Koila Jahatahan Premadan. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is by nature very much inspired in rendering transcendental loving service to Lord Krishna. Now being ordered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he distributed this loving service anywhere and everywhere. So Nityananda was very enthusiastic about preaching and spreading chanting. given by Mahaprabhu. He's very enthusiastic to spread that to everyone. And he did so, especially after Mahaprabhu ordered him to Bengal. There he took charge. Tahara charane mora koti namaskar, Chaitanyara bhakti jeho lao jaila samsar. I offer innumerable obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is so kind that he spread the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. And we're always talking of the loving relationship between Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So this literally is true. I offer my innumerable obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is so kind that he spread the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. Chaitanya Gosai Jare Bole Borabai Teho Kohe Mora Prabhu Chaitanya Gosai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to address Nityananda Prabhu as his elder brother, whereas Nityananda Prabhu addressed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his Lord. Chaitanya Gosai. Jajapi Apani Hoye Prabhu Balaram Tatapi Chaitanya Rakore Dasha Abhiman. Although Nityananda Prabhu is none other than Balaram himself, he nonetheless always thinks of himself as the eternal servant of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that quality also of Vatsalya Ras, it is there in Balaram. Balaram has moods of Vatsalya Ras and also Sakya Ras and also Dasha Ras in relationship to Krishna, and Nityananda Prabhu always thinks of himself as the eternal servant of Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Seva, Chaitanya Gao, Lao Chaitanya Nam, Chaitanya Bhakti Kore, Chaitanya Ye Bhakti Kore Se Mora Pran. Nityananda Prabhu requested everyone to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chant his glories and utter his name. Nityananda Prabhu claimed that person to be his life and soul, who rendered devotional service unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Emata loke Chaitanya bhakti lao jaila, dina hina nindaka sabare nishtarila. In this way, Srila Nityananda Prabhu introduced the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everyone without discrimination. Even though the people were fallen and blasphemers, they were delivered by this process. Tabe Prabhu Braje Pataila Rupa Sanatan Prabhu Agyaya Dui Bhai Aila Brindavan. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then sent the two brothers, Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatan Goswami, to Braja. By his order, they went to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Bhakti Prachariya Sarvatirtha Prakashila Marana Gopa Govindera Seva Pracharila. After going to Vrindavan, the brothers preached devotional service and discovered many places of pilgrimage. They specifically initiated the service of Madan Mohan and Govindaji. Those are two principal temples, Radha Madan Mohan and Radha Govinda, begun by Sanatan and Rupa Goswami. After going to Vrindavan, the brothers preached devotional service and discovered many places of pilgrimage. They specifically initiated the service of Madan Mohan and Govindaji. Nana Shastra Anikoila Bhakti Grantazar Muda Adama Janere Teho Korila Nishtar. Both Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami brought various scriptures to Vrindavan and collected the essence of these by compiling many scriptures on devotional service. In this way, they delivered all rascals and fallen souls. Prabhu Agyaya Koila Sab Shastrara Vichar Prajera Niguda Bhakti Korila Prachar. The Goswamis carried out the preaching work of devotional service on the basis of an analytical study of all confidential Vedic literature. This was in accordance with the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus one can understand the most confidential devotional service of Vrindavan. The Goswamis carried out the preaching work of devotional service on the basis of an analytical study of all confidential Vedic literatures. This was in accordance with the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus one can understand the most confidential devotional service of Vrindavan. Hari Bhakti Vilasa Ara Bhagavatamrita Dashamatipani Ara Dashamacharita. Some of the books compiled by Srila Sanatan Goswami were the Hari Bhakti Vilas, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Dashamatipani, and Dashamacharita. Esab Granta Koila Gosai Sanatan, Rupa Gosai Koila Jata Kekarud Ganan. We have already given the names of 4 books compiled by Sanatan Goswami. Similarly, Srila Rupa Goswami has also compiled many books which no one can even count. Pratana Pradana Kichu Koraye Gaman Keshav Grante Koila Brajavilasa Varnan. I shall therefore enumerate the chief books compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami. He has described the pastimes of Vrindavan in 100,000 verses. Rasamrita Sindhuara Vidagda Madhava Ujjwala Nilamani Ara Lalita Madhava. Rasamrita Sindhuara Vidagda Madhava Ujjwala Nilamanayara Lalita Madhava. The books compiled by Sri Rupa Goswami include the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagda Madhava, Ujjwala Nilamani, and Lalita Madhava. Dhanakeli, Kaumudi, Arabahu, Stalavali, Ashtadasha, Lila Chanda, Ara Padyavali, Govinda Virudavali, Taharlakan, Mathura Mahatmya Ara Natika Varnan. Srila Rupa Goswami also compiled the Dhanakeli Kaumudi, Stavavali, Lila Chanda, Padyavali, Govinda Virudavali, Mathura Mahatmya, and Natika Varnan. Lagu Bhagavatamritadi Kekaru Ganan Sarvatra Korila Braja Bilasa Varjan. Who can count the rest of the books headed by the Lagu Bhagavatamrita written by Srila Rupa Goswami? He has described the pastimes of Vrindavan in all of them. Sri Rupa Gosai Tara Pratus Tara Bharatus Putra Nama Sri Jiva Gosai Jada Bhakti Granta Koila Tara Antanai. Sri Rupa Goswami's nephew, Sri Jiva Goswami, has compiled so many books on devotional service that there is no counting them. Sri Bhagavata Sandarbhanama Granta Vistar Bhakti Siddhante Ratate Dekaya Chinapar. In Sri Bhagavat Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami has written conclusively about the ultimate end of devotional service. In Sri Bhagavat Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami has written conclusively about the ultimate end of devotional service. Srila Rupa Goswami's nephew, Srila Jiva Goswami, has compiled so many books on devotional service that there's no counting them. In Sri Bhagavat Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami has written conclusively about the ultimate end of devotional service. Gopala Champu Name Granda Mahasura Nitya-lila Stapana Jahe Braja Rasapura. The most famous and formidable transcendental literature is the book named Gopal Champu. In this book, the eternal pastimes of the Lord are established, and the transcendental mellows or rasas enjoyed in Vrindavan are completely described. Emata Nana Granta Koriya Prakash Goshti Sahite Koila Brindavana Das. Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and their nephew Srila Jiva Goswami, as well as practically all of their family members, lived in Vrindavan and published important books on devotional service. Pratama Vatsare Advaitari Bhaktagan Prabhura Dekhite Koila Niladrigaman. By Pratama Vatsare Advaitari Bhaktagan Prakashu Prakore Dekhite Koila Niladrigaman. The first year after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order of life, all the devotees, headed by Sri Advaita Prabhu, went to see the Lord at Jagannath Puri. Seshar J Nahi Dvarasha Vatsar Krishnara Viraha Lila Prabhura Antar Seshar Jairohe Dwara Shabatsar Krishnara Viraha Lilar Prabhura Amritar. The last 12 years were simply devoted to relishing the pastimes of Krishna in separation within the heart of the Lord. The last 12 years were simply devoted to relishing the pastimes of Krishna in separation within the heart of the Lord, within Mahaprabhu's heart. Nirantara Ratridin Viraha Unmade Korikande Bache Giya Parama Bede. Seshara Jai Rohe Dvara Shavasar Krishnara Viraha Lila Prabhurantar. The last 12 years were simply devoted to relishing the pastimes of Krishna in separation within the heart of the Lord. Nirantara Ratri Din Viraha Unmade Hashikande Nachigai Parama Vishade. In the attitude of separation, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared mad both day and night. Sometimes he laughed and sometimes he cried. Sometimes he danced and sometimes he chanted in great sorrow. Jai Kale Koran Jagannatha Darshan Mane Bhave Kurukshetre Panache Milan. At these times, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would visit Lord Jagannath. Then his feelings exactly corresponded to those of the gopis when they saw Krishna at Kurukshetra after long separation. Krishna had come to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister to visit. Let's see. Let me read this again. Imanta Nanagranta Korya Prakash Goshti Saite Koila Vrindavanada Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and their nephew Sri Jiva Goswami, as well as practically all of their family members, lived in Vrindavan and published important books on devotional service. Pratama Vatsarya Dvaitari Bhaktagan Prabhure Dekite Koila Niladre Gaman. The first year after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order of life, all the devotees headed by Sri Advaita Prabhu went to see the Lord at Jagannath Puri. Rathayatra Dekitahan Rohila Charimas Prabhu Sange Nritigita Parama Ulas. After attending the Rathayatra ceremony at Jagannath Puri, all the devotees remained there for 4 months, greatly enjoying the company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by performing kirtan, chanting and dancing. Vidaya Samanya Prabhu Kohila Sabare Pratyabda Ashive Save Gundicha Dekivare. At the time of departure, the Lord requested that all the devotees please come here every year to see the Rathayatra festival of Lord Jagannath's journey to the Gundicha temple. Prabhu Agyaya Bhaktagan Pratyabda Asya Gundicha Dekiyana Jana Prabhure Miliya. Following the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees used to visit Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every year. They would see the Gundicha festival at Jagannath Puri and then return home after 4 months. Vimshati Vatsara Aiche Koila Gatagati Anyonye Duhara Duha Vinanahistiti. For 24 consecutive years, this meeting took place, and the situation became so intense that the Lord and the devotees could not be happy without meeting one another. Seshara Jairohe Dwara Shavasar Krishnara Viraha Lila Prabhura Antar. The last 12 years were simply devoted to relishing the pastimes of Krishna and separation within the heart of the Lord. Nirantara Ratridin Viraha Unmare Hasekande Nachigae Parama Vishare. In the attitude of separation, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared mad both day and night. Sometimes he laughed and sometimes he cried, sometimes he danced and sometimes he chanted in great sorrow. Jai Kale Koran Jagannath Darshan Mane Bhave Kurukshetre Panachi Milan. At those times, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would visit Lord Jagannath. Then his feelings exactly corresponded to those of the gopis when they saw Krishna at Kurukshetra after a long separation. Krishna had come to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister to visit. Rathayatra Jave Korana Nartan Tahan E Paramatra Koraye Gayan. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance before the car during the festival, he always sang the following 2 lines. Seta Parananata Painu Jalage Marana Dahane Jurigenu. I've gotten the Lord of my life for whom I was burning in the fire of lusty desires. E Duyagane Nachin Dvitiya Prahar Krishna Loya Braje Jai E Bhavantar. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sing this song, Saita Parananata, especially during the latter part of the day, and he would think, let me take Krishna and go back to Vrindavan. This ecstasy was always filling his heart. E bhave nritya madhye pare ek shlok, se shlok era artha keho nahi bujhe lok. In that ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited a verse when dancing in front of Lord Jagannath. Almost no one could understand the meaning of that verse. Ya kumara harasa eva evaras ta eva chaitra shapas te chonmilita malati surabhaya proda karambanila Saichaivasmi tatapi tatra surata vyapara lila vido reva rodasi vedasi taru tale cheta samutkandate. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. E shlokararta jani ekale swarup daive se vatsaratahan yachena rup. This verse appears to be the hankering between some ordinary boy and girl, but its actual deep meaning was known only to Swarup Damodar. By chance, one year, Rupa Goswami was also present there. So that verse of, which is that very personality, Ya Kumara Harasa Eva Varasta Eva Chaitra Shapas Te Chonmilita Malati Surabhaya Proda Karambanila Se Chaivasmi Tatapi Tatra Surata Vyapara Lila Viro Reva Rodasi Vedasi Taru Tale Cheta Samutkantate. The very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So this verse appears to be expressed by the female point of view, and where it says, Ya Kumara Hara Saiva Evaras, it can also be said, who took away my youth. So it's referring to her lover who took away her youth. You can understand that. So Mahaprabhu is expressing this verse in the latter part of the day from the female point of view, and people could not understand what is he singing or talking about. E shlokararta jani ekale swarup daive se vatsaratahan diyachena rup. This verse appears to be the hankering between some ordinary boy and girl, but its actual deep meaning was known only to Swarup Damodar. By chance, one year, Rupa Goswami was also present there. Prabhu Mukhe Lok Shune Se Rupa Gosai Se Shloka Arta Shloka Korilata Tai. Although the meaning of the verse was known only to Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, after hearing it from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately composed another verse that described the meaning of the original verse. Shloka Kori Ektala Patrate Likiya Apana Vatsara Chale Rakila Unjiya. After composing this verse, Rupa Goswami wrote it on a palm leaf and put it on the roof of the thatched house in which he was living. So he wrote the verse on a palm leaf, and then he left it there on the roof of his thatched house or hut where he was living. Shloka Raki Gela Samudra Snana Korite Henakali Agya Prabhu Tahare Milite. He put it there and went to the sea. After composing this verse and putting on the roof of his house, Srila Rupa Goswami went to bathe in the sea. In the meantime, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to his hut to meet him. Haridas Sakurara Rupa Sanatan Jagannatha Mandirina Janatina Jan. To avoid turmoil, three great personalities, Haridas Thakur, Srila Rupa Goswami, and Srila Sanatan Goswami, did not enter the temple of Lord Jagannath. To avoid turmoil, three great personalities, Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, and Srila Sanatan Goswami, did not enter the temple of Jagannath. Mahaprabhu Jagannatha Upalabhoga Dekhiya Nichagrihe Jana E Tinere Miliya. Every day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to see the Upalabhoga ceremony at the temple of Jagannath, and after seeing this, he used to go to visit these three great personalities on his way to his own residence. 18 Madhya Jabe Take Jai Jan Tare Ashe Apane Mile Prabhuraniyam. If one of these three was not present, he would meet the others. That was his regular practice. Daivi Ashe Prabhu Jabe Urbete Chahila Chale Gunja Tala Patre Se Shloka Paila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the residence of Srila Rupa Goswami, he accidentally saw the palm leaf on the roof, and thus he read the verse composed by him. Shloka Padiyache Prabhu Avishtahoya Rupa Gosai Ashe Pare Dandavat Hoya. After reading the verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went into an ecstatic mood. While he was in that state, Srila Rupa Goswami came and immediately fell down on the ground like a rod. Offer his dandavats. Uti Mahaprabhu Tare Chapara Maria Kohite Lagila Kichu Kolete Korea. When Rupa Goswami fell down like a rod, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up and gave him a slap, then taking him in his arms, he began to speak to him. Mara shlokera abhipray na jane kon jane mara manera kata tumi janile kaimone. No one knows the purport of my verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. How could you understand my intention? Eta bole tare bahu prasada korea swarup gosaire shloka dekaila loya. Saying this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed various benedictions upon Rupa Goswami, and taking the verse, he later showed it to Swarup Damodar. Swarupe Puchena Prabhu Hoya Vishmite Moramanera Kata Rupa Janila Kemote. Having shown the verse to Swarup Damodar with great wonder, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him how Rupa Goswami could understand the intentions of his mind. Swarup ko he jate janila tomara man tate jani hoy tomara kripara bhajan. Srila Swarup Damodar replied to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if Rupa Goswami can understand your mind and intentions, he must have your lordship's special benediction. Prabhu kohe tarayame santushta hoya alingana koila sarva shakti sancharila. The Lord said, I was so pleased with Rupa Goswami that I embraced him and bestowed upon him all necessary potencies for preaching the Bhakti cult. As Mahaprabhu had previously given benedictions to Rupa Goswami when he met with Rupa Goswami in Prayag. Jogya patro hoy guda rasav vivechane tumio kohiya tare guda rasakyane. I accept Rupa Goswami is quite fit to understand the confidential mellows of devotional service, and I recommend that you explain devotional service to him further. Esab kohiba age vistara korea sankepi udesha koila prastava paina. I shall describe all these incidents elaborately later on. Now I have given only a brief residence. Priya soyam Krishna sahachari kurukshetra militas tataham sa rara tadidam ubayo sangama sukam tatapi anta kelan madhura murali panchama jushe manome kalindi pumina vipinaya spriyayati. This is verse spoken by Srimati Radharani. My dear friend, now I have met my very old and dear friend Krishna on the field of Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani, and now we are meeting together. It is very pleasant, but still I would like to go to the bank of the Jamuna beneath the trees of the forest there. I wish to hear the vibration of his sweet flute playing the fifth note within that forest of Vrindavan. This verse also appears in the Padyavali, an anthology of verses composed by Srila Rupa Goswami. Say shlokara sanke parta shuna bhaktagan jagannath deki jaiche prabhura bhavan. Now, devotees, please hear a brief explanation of this verse. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking in this way after having seen the Jagannath deity. Shri Radhika Kurukshetra Krishna Radarshan Janjapi Payana Tabu Bhavana Aichan. The subject of his thoughts was Srimati Radharani, who met Krishna on the field of Kurukshetra. Although she met Krishna there, she was nonetheless thinking of him in the following way. Rajavesha Hati Goda Manusha Gahan Kahan Gopavesh Kahan Nirjana Vrindavan. She thought of him in the calm and quiet atmosphere of Vrindavan, dressed as a cowherd boy, but at Kurukshetra he was in a royal dress and was accompanied by elephants, horses, and crowds of men. Thus the atmosphere was not congenial for their meeting. Say Baba, say Krishna, say Vrindavan. Say Baba, say Krishna, say Vrindavan. Jahe Pai Tabe Hoy Banshita Puran. Thus meeting with Krishna and thinking of the Vrindavan atmosphere, Radharani longed for Krishna to take her to Vrindavan again, to fulfill her desire in that calm atmosphere. So we'll stop here and tomorrow we'll continue. Okay. This is from later pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, and we're hearing of conversations between Rupa Goswami and Mahaprabhu. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Girirari Gopinatha Manana Mohan Girirari Gopinatha Manana Mohan Girirari Gopinatha Manana Mohan Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Dharadhara Shiva Sari Gora Bhaktavina Dharadhara Shiva Sari Gora Bhaktavina Jai Rupa Sanatana Madhya-lila Jai Rupa Sanatana Madhya-lila Sri Jiva Gopala Bhattarasa Raguna Sri Jiva Gopala Bhattarasa Raguna Jai Goswami Jai Mai Sanatana Sabar Pada Rindu Mora Panchaga Sadhe Chanana Sevi Bhakti Ba Janame More Amira Parikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Nehri Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sarashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sarashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Rakakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Rupanuga Guru Bharg Ki Jai Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai Vishvavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai Jai Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai Shri Mayapur Ki Jai Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Saparshada Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Shri Koladvip Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai Ganga Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan, Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Sripad, Srila Bhakti Pavan, Janardan,